One of the most interesting pieces that can be admired at History Museum is a menhir statue over 5,000 years old. The term menhir is of Breton origin and comes from men meaning stone and hir meaning long. The menhirs were those statues and blocks of raw stone placed in megalithic sanctuaries or in burial mounds in the Neolithic Age and less often in the Bronze Age or the Iron Age. The anthropomorphic monument exhibited at Histria was dated somewhere in the early Bronze Age, most likely around 3000 BC. It was discovered around the Tulcea County commune of Baia, a settlement that until the 19th century was called Hamangia, from the Turkish word hamamci, which translates as bath. This area gave its name to the Hamangia culture, which includes the famous statuary ensemble, the Thinker and the Sitting Woman, discovered on Sofia Hill in the 1950s near modern-day town of Cernavoda. The menhir from Baia was cut from a block of green sandstone and it's 6-4 feet tall, 3 feet wide and 1 foot thick. On the front, the contour of the face is marked by an incised line. Its eyes, nose and mouth are briefly sketched, and it is a massive necklace around the neck. It appears to be a female deity, with her arms resting on her chest and her sacred triangle clearly marked 2 circular arches in the genital area. On the back side, the shoulder blades are suggested by 2 slightly trapezoidal protrusions, with rounded corners. The representation of the necklace continues and is present a cord that descends along the spine to the lumbar area. Four other symbolic representations cover the back surface of the statue. 3 axes arranged obliquely and the sole of a foot with the tip of the 2 facing upwards. The statue was part of a funerary complex destroyed in the beginning of the 19th century by railway works carried out in the area. In 1952, during rescue excavations performed around the area of the destroyed complex, archaeologists also discovered 2 tombs that could bring some clarification. The first tomb, registered as M1, was covered by a 3.9 feet mound and belonged to a 10-15 years old child. The funerary inventory discovered here included a vessel and a stone pendant. Merely 20 feet away, a second tomb, M2, was discovered. This tomb had no inventory and the skeleton inside was almost destroyed. In this case, the mound above of the tomb was 11 feet high and had a diameter of almost 70 feet. The base of both graves had been covered with a thin layer of red ochre, which allowed us to describe them as kargans, a type of tumulus constructed over a grave often characterized by containing a single human body, dating from the beginning of the transition period between the Neolithic and the Bronze Age. Later, probably during the early Bronze Age, Yamnaya communities built a huge mound with a diameter of about 49 yards, which included the smaller mounds of the 2 ochre tombs. Most probably, the menhir statue belonged to this huge mound. The members of the Yamnaya communities or culture have been identified as Proto-Indo-Europeans natives of the Pontic steppe, who lived there between 3300 and 2200 BC and whose name derives from the characteristic burial tradition, a Russian adjective that means related to pits, yama, and strictly refers to the way the population buried their dead. The menhir of display at the History Museum is the largest ever discovered in Dobruja, and most likely represents a female fertility goddess.